Hey there, I'm Trisha and welcome back. In today's video, I am going to be bringing you my March book haul. So despite the fact that I am trying to whittle down the books on my own TBR, I'm trying to get to things that I have put off reading for a while. I did pick up a couple of new books that I bought, and I visited the library and checked out a couple of things. So I've got a few books to talk about. We will get right on into it. The first book that I got from the library is Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. This is a magical realism that Hannah from The Rainy Reader really likes. She really loves Sarah Addison Allen. I haven't read a lot of magical realism, so I thought I'd pick this up and give it a try. It is about a family that tends to a garden, and there's kind of magic to the garden and the plants that the garden produces. There is a tree in this garden that produces apples that have prophetic properties, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I am excited to see how I will jive with a magical realism sort of genre. The next book that I got from the library is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I picked this up because of Emma from Emma Books, and she mentioned it in her Feminist Reads video that she did just recently for Women's History Month. I will link that video in the description box down below. Definitely go check it out. So I love Libba Bray, and I've never gotten around to this, and so I thought, you know what, this must be a sign that it's time for me to pick it up. This is about a bunch of beauty queens that they are on a plane and their plane crash lands, and it's kind of Lord of the Flies with beauty queens. So sounds really interesting. Sounds like it'll be like a fun, light, potentially light read for going into spring. The next book that I picked up from the library is Sadie by Courtney Summers. I picked this up because it is the Muggle Studies Book Club pick of the month for April. I am so excited that I saw this on the shelf because I was sure that it was going to be a book that was going to be waitlisted and I wasn't going to get a chance to pick it up from the library. So I'm really excited that I saw it there. It's a young adult thriller about a girl named Sadie who's run away from home after the murder of her little sister. I don't know much more than that because I do like going into my thrillers not knowing a whole lot. So I'm really excited to get around to this and hopefully get to participate in the Muggle Studies Book Club chat this time around on this. And then also from the library, I picked up the audiobook for Radio Free Albemuth by Philip K. Dick. I have owned this copy on paperback for a while now, and it's been sitting on my shelf and I haven't gotten around to reading it. So I decided to get the audiobook from the library. I have already finished it, so it will be coming up soon in one of my reading rundowns. This is a book that is an alternate history. It takes place in the 1960s, and there's a man who is very paranoid and kind of incompetent, has become president, and then Philip K. Dick has written himself into the story where he and his best friend are experiencing paranormal activity. His best friend seems to be receiving radio transmissions downloaded directly in his brain from aliens telling him that he needs to kill the President of the United States, I guess, is the best way I can describe this. I've never read any Philip K. Dick before. I did initially pick the paperback up because of how pretty the cover is. So be sure to stay tuned for my next reading rundown to hear my thoughts on Radio Free Albemuth. The next few books that I am going to talk about are books that I actually bought. So the first things that I want to talk about is I picked up Monstrous Volume 2 and Monstrous Volume 3. These are Silk Punk graphic novel series. I read Monstrous Volume 1 just recently and I really enjoyed it. I loved the art style, I loved the magic and the history to it. So I'm super excited to get around to Volume 2 and Volume 3 on this. The next book that I picked up is a young adult contemporary, and it is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. I don't know a whole lot about this, and I picked it up because of Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. She's talked about this several times on her channel. YA contemporary seems like best friends that had a falling out when one left her life behind, and now they are coming together for the first time in a long time. So that seems like basically what it's about. I haven't read the synopsis. I don't really want to know a lot going into this because it is so short. I don't want to have any preconceived notions on what this might be about. And then from another recommendation, I picked up Once and Future. This is by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. This is a young adult sci-fi retelling of an Arthurian legend. This takes place in the future, and Arthur is a person who is reincarnated generation after generation, and this is the first time where Arthur is being reincarnated as a female, and I am so here for this. This was recommended by Rhiannon from Crescent Moon Reads. I'm so happy that she talked about this on her channel because I love Arthurian retellings and Arthurian legend, so I cannot wait to get to this. And then I picked up two books that I know are super hyped on BookTube. I don't really know what to expect going into them. I ended up picking up Daisy Jones and the Six, and in audio I picked up The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really love the sound of Daisy Jones and the Six because it reminds me of a Stevie Nicks sort of woman and her journey through rock and roll and music, and I love Stevie Nicks, I love Fleetwood Mac, so I thought that would be really fun. And then on audio, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, that one was on a sale on Audible, and I've heard tons of people rave about it and the representation that it has, and so I am kind of excited to get around to both of these. I'm not sure that I'll be getting around to them soon, but when I do get around to them, I can't wait. And the last book that I got for the month of March is Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. I got this on audiobook. This is about a young girl who is doing everything that she can to get a leg up, to get out of her neighborhood and to succeed and to change her life circumstances. And she's going to a school and ends up in a program that is supposed to provide resources and opportunities for young girls, and then she realizes that it's for girls who are from bad neighborhoods, and she is not really keen on the idea that they are lumping her in with a stereotype of what type of help she needs in order to succeed based off of where she is in life. And I thought it sounded really interesting. It's been on my TBR for a while. I've seen it at the bookstore, but I never got around to picking it up. So I'm really excited to do this on audio, especially since it's read by the author. So these are all the books that I got for my March book haul. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of the books that I have hauled this month. Let me know what you thought about them. And now is a perfect time, if you've not already done so, click that little subscribe button down below if you'd like to see more content from me, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!